Good evening everyone, and thank you for coming to the Planning and Highways meeting today, the 9th of April. Just got some housekeeping rules to run through. Council and officers are reminded of their commitment to the civility and respect pledge and to be mindful of this during tonight's meeting. Please be aware that the Council is video recording this meeting and this will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. I would just like to highlight some key points of the meeting format. Please can I ask everyone to have their phones turned off or set to silent. Please remain seated unless you are invited to speak or need to take a comfort break. The toilet facilities are out in the corridor you enter through. The fire exits are by the doors out of the chambers and down the external fire escape stairs or via the main entrance that you enter the building through. The assembling point is outside the Royal Mail Parcel Office on West Street. In the event of a fire, the lift should not be used. Those that require a lift, officers will guide you with the correct process to exit the building. Members of the public are invited to participate in the meeting with key points as follows. Public participation is limited to a maximum of 4 minutes per person and must be relating to an item of business on the agenda. As Chair, I will interject if needed to enforce this. For those looking to speak specifically about planning or tree works application on the agenda, you will be invited to speak immediately before the committee considers that application. For those looking to speak on the other agenda items, you will be invited to speak during the public participation agenda item. Please raise your hand to show you wish to speak and I will invite you to speak. If you are comfortable standing, please do so. Ensure you can be heard across the room. You do not need to state your name when you start speaking if you do not wish to, but we ask that you clearly state which agenda item you are speaking about. I would ask that participants looking to leave the meeting wait until the end of the agenda item to limit distractions to other participants. Members of the public looking to leave the building will need to be escorted out by a council officer. If the meeting goes into don't need to do that bit. To all present, please remember to show respect to others in the meeting and avoid interrupting where possible to enable others to follow the meeting. If any councillor feels concerned about any aspect of the meeting or discussion, please clearly state point of order and I will then gesture for you to elaborate. If anyone present is felt to be behaving unacceptably, they can be ejected from the meeting by resolution. Thank you for listening. On behalf of the Council, I would like to thank everyone for attending this Town Council meeting. Thank you. So we go on to agenda item 1, apologies for absence. Agenda item 2, disclosure of interest. To deal with any disclosure by members or any disclosable pecuniary interests as interests other than pecuniary interests as defined under the Seaford Town Council Code of Conduct and Localism Act 2011 in relation to matters on the agenda.
Sure, I have an interest and it's with regards to WL 26007 3 Sutton Park Road. I've actually emailed and said interest in this particular person, and what I will do in this particular item, if not mind, sure, I will abstain from the vote.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Lord. Item 3, public participation. To deal with any questions or brief representations from members of the public in accordance with relevant legislation and Seaford Town Council policy. In accordance with Town Council policy, members of the public wishing to speak on individual planning applications may do so immediately before each planning application. Planning applications, planning and tree works applications valid between the 2nd of March and 30th of March for the committee to consider and comment on as a statutory consultee are as follows. Is the committee happy if we bring forward 3 Sutton Park Road as the first item? Because I believe we've got a member of public who would like to speak on this one. Everybody happy?
I'm not
Yep.
actually speaking, if that's okay. I'm
Yes.
just here to take the feedback.
Still do it though.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
that then, yeah.
Right, so LW/26/0077, 3 Sutton Park Road, change of use of park ground floor from financial services ECI to retail class EA, and park ground and first floor from financial services ECI to dwellings class C3 to provide 3 by self-contained flats and 2 commercial units. Rear extension to existing staircase well, alterations to the front and rear elevations including fenestration and solar panels, and provision of integrated waste storage to the front. Right. You said she was going. Would you like to speak on this one?
No, I am the agent. I submitted a
Oh,
planning
right,
application
okay.
on behalf of my client, but I'm just here to hear your feedback on
observe.
the application, if that's okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I didn't.
But I will answer any questions if I can help.
Okay. Does the committee want to ask any questions before we discuss it? I think we just want to, myself, it's about the waste storage, isn't it, at the front? If it's, is it going to be sufficient for what is going to be proposed?
I went through the recommended calculations. We've got internal storage that will be for dry recycling materials, so that's separated, and then we've got waste storage on the private forecourt. So it has been split, and then individual smaller caddies within the kitchens. So it's not all. So that system will alternate between when the collections are due. So it'll be one in and one out. So that's going to have that leapfrogging proposal. So it's minimising the amount that's actually going to be facing onto the highway, in the private forecourt.
Okay.
So it'll be an enclosure, lockable gates, so it'll be contained within the site.
Thank you.
And it has been calculated, so they're looking at 2 40-litre bins per new flat. So there's 3 proposed internally and 3 proposed externally.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else want to ask questions, or shall I open it to the committee?
Of course, the commercial properties can do what they want with their waste. It's separate, isn't it?
Commercial waste.
Yeah, if you've got two commercial properties at the front, that's where they don't necessarily get caught up with that collection, do they? So it's separate, isn't it? Well, I know.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Chair? I mean, that one.
Mhm.
I think it's still the storage of the commercial waste bins, because they can be quite large, depending on what the commercial units are going to be.
Mm. Okay, so
Yeah, actually that was a question. Obviously it says into 2 retail units. Do we have any idea what they might be yet? Or is that too early to know?
Far too early. I'm not aware of the specifics of that element.
Right.
okay.
Barber shop.
I'll open it to the committee. Who would like to
Sushi.
lead on this one?
Good.
Councillor Hanlon.
Can we just look at the plan again, please? The
Yeah.
block plan. Let's see how far the rear extension's going, or is it basically still taking up most of what is there at the moment? So I don't know how much. Because the backyard, we have neighbouring issues with planning, haven't we? And a lot of them do go right into the right. Of course, it's quite dense, urbanly dense out there, isn't it? I mean, we know that anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's a tight space, whatever you do, isn't it, out the rear? Just the nature of it, isn't it?
That's not indicating the best layout. That's the
Oh, is
most
it not?
recent
Okay.
drawing. You need to be looking at probably I think drawing 5 or 6 from memory.
Yeah, there's a plan.
Yeah.
One of these ones as well. I couldn't find a block plan.
The floor plan.
This one. This one.
Yes.
That one?
There's the ground floor just above that one.
There's
There's
a
the
block,
Yeah,
there's a
that's
block
right.
plan as well.
There it is. Yeah, that's the one.
That's,
Do you want me to
that's
explain
there,
what's
isn't it?
going on? If would that help?
You want the ground floor, do you?
Yeah, that's the other one, the ground floor one.
The extension is
That
not
one.
at ground floor. It's actually at first floor, and it's just around the stairwell. It's just making it wider so we can actually put it wide enough so it actually complies with means of escape and as a designated fire route as well. So it's actually going sidewards. It's not going out past the existing building line. So it's spanning over the existing building. So it's not encroaching on any external areas. It's encroaching out over the existing flat roof to the rear.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd like to go next? Councillor Paulman?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It's nice to see that retail units being incorporated into this. Flats above, which is in some ways a perfect opportunity for this building, rather than it just sitting empty like it has done for a little while. My only concern is still the refuse. I understand that there's enough provision for the residential units, but I'm concerned for the retail units where they will be storing their waste, and it is dependent on what these retail units are going to be, and the amount of waste that they might produce. And we just don't want it littering the front pavement of that area, because it would then start to look very unsightly. Other than that, I'm actually happy to support the application.
Councillor Olivia Hanneman?
Yes, I like the idea that it's going to be 3 self-contained flats. And looking at the pictures, I'll be quite interested in how, obviously it's going to be divided up because of the height of the bank and everything, but I thought this was a sensible thing to do where it is. I know it said there wasn't, there's obviously no provision for parking, but there is enough parking around the roads if needed to be, and I think there is going to be a bike area, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bike area. So I was quite happy with this. The only thing I agree with is what was the retail outlet's going to be, but obviously there have to be a separate application, won't they?
If they need to change use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Councillor Richard Honeyman?
Yeah, just to come back, yeah, as we're talking about parking, I mean when you are living in a town centre site like this, and we have had many applications in this, I mean, you can't necessarily expect to have a car park space anywhere. I mean, not nearby, it's just the nature of being central. But then you've got other facilities, you're right by bus stops and trains, so you've got other facilities right on your doorstep as well. So.
Yeah. Okay. Councillor Olivia Hanneman, you want to come
Yeah,
back?
I was just thinking about the logistics of when the actual work's being done. Because obviously, it's you've only got the Tesco's lay-by there. I was just wondering about the logistics of that, but obviously that's not a reason to turn it down.
It's outside of it.
But I was just wondering what the logistics were going to be, because there's no back entrance because of the Horsley. That's just a me go.
Yeah, I expect the highways will come, because we get to see it before we get the
Yeah.
highways comments, Councillor Baldwin, you come back?
Just on that point, whether we can include something that sort of then big deliveries aren't happening in rush hour, because a rush hour lorry delivering things would actually
Yeah.
be a nightmare, and maybe just to have it.
There would have to be some maybe
More
liaison
appropriate
with
times.
Tesco's, so that just while the building work's going on, because otherwise you could have a
Yeah.
ton of stuff, one of the big grabbers turn up or something.
Along
at
with
the
a
same
delivery.
from Tesco's.
Yeah.
And it could
And I
be-
think then does need to be something.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about when they don't do the construction outside the scope of planning, as you know.
Yeah.
But is there access from Halsey's underground car park to it somehow? I don't know if there's a special route or anything from there. Well, we don't really have to know that, but there could be.
No, it's,
It's a private arrangement, isn't it?
yeah, basically got one. But obviously the Lewis, they'll do a plan for the construction plan.
Yeah.
Which means you can ask for deliveries not to be in those
Yeah,
rush hour times.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just all working together,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Because you've got the
Basically.
Tesco's laid by, and then you've got the bus stop
Yeah.
laid by. So, any other comments? So, put it to the vote. I think most are supporting the application, but maybe put in about the wastage and.
So I'm noting concerns about where retail wastage would be, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So can I have a show of hands for supporting this application? Those against?
That's it.
Councillor Lord is
Abstaining.
abstaining. Thank you. You're quite welcome to stay, but if you'd like to.
No, I'm going to go home.
Let's continue. LW/26/0107, 37 Stafford Road. Application under the Town and Country Planning, General Permitted Development, England, Order 2015, as amended. Schedule 2, Part 3, Class NA, to determine if prior approval is required for change of use from veterinary surgery, Class E, to dwelling house, Class C3. Who would like to lead on this one? Councillor Olivia.
I'll go first. I thought this was a sensible idea to do, to turn it into, because it is more or less a residential area there.
It is.
And it just seems sensible to turn it into a residential property in the area. So I thought, I was prepared, I thought this was a good idea.
Okay, so you're proposing. Thank you. Councillor Bournemouth? Oh, who's?
I think Councillor Bournemouth was before me.
Councillor Bournemouth.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it's a residential area, but it's been a veterinary surgery for very many years, and a well-used one. And I know it says that there's 2 other veterinary surgeries in Seaford, but I'm thinking if vets are actually so used and needed, that when it comes to having a building that's large enough for a vet, where else are you going to try and get a change of use or things like that? And I'm just thinking maybe there should have been just tried to sell it as a business or something in run, because vets, people struggle to get a vet.
But that is that because there's also a shortage of vets, isn't there?
But this is, I'm just wondering whether there's more that could have been possibly done, because once you put that back to a house, where is a vet going to go into the town again? And this is already set up as, so that I'm in 2 minds. Yes, it's a residential, and it used to be a residential home when it was first built, but I'm thinking actually vets are needed, and would it be better if, and was it looked into changing? Also on the our approvals, and later on, one of the ones in the High Street, which was a cafe wanting to go into a home, has actually been refused down to reasonings of not demonstrating bit. So I'm just wondering whether we can link the fact that has that been looked at as well? So they might actually need to sort that out first.
Okay, Councillor Buchanan.
Thank you, Chair. I was just querying that the actual statement here is to determine if prior approval is required for change of use from veterinary surgery to dwelling house. I'm not sure I know the answer to that, but I presume that it is. And that is that what we're actually voting on, is to determine if prior approval is needed? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I must confess I would probably support. I'm in two minds now after hearing your.
I haven't made a decision. I'm like, oh, this is good, but actually, and I'm thinking.
I mean, I live quite. I go to the dentist next door, and I think the first time I went to the dentist, I actually went to the vet's.
I'm sorry about that.
Because the sign is kind of anyway. I don't have any pets, so I wouldn't use it, but I can understand there's a lot of pets in town. I'm not sure though who owns this, and if the vet that's there already owns it, you would think that he's already tried to find another vet. If you see what I mean. I'm not sure. So
Just there isn't enough in the documentation to give all the answers.
Really, yeah.
Councillor Richard Hanneman.
Yes, when I walked past about half an hour ago, it did say it's been sold by auction, so we don't know who really owns it now. That particular venue. Yeah, I mean it's next to the dentist as well as the similar sort of size sort of large houses. I think they're 30. Are they 30s build? Can I read?
Pretty
I
well.
think so, yeah.
Can I say between wall or pre? Between the walls. Yeah. So I thought that was quite interesting. But yeah, it's almost like a block. It's a sort of and Councillor Bourne was right. It's almost like it's the right sort of size to have a practice of some sort of professional service, like a doctor's or dentist, or in this case a vet.
Doctors.
So, well, yeah, we could do another GPs if you want to if you can get to the point on that. Yes.
Yeah.
But no, it's in one level. Yeah, once we lose it, we've lost it. And even though it's not, you could say it's not. It's nearby to town centre. You're literally only, you're literally a little quarter of a mile, aren't you, to the centre, aren't you? Start of it. So it will be a loss to the town. But I mean, we don't know if the previous vets did try to sell it, and no one came forward, and no one wanted to set up. We don't know the ins and outs and how that works. I think that's outside the scope of this discussion, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even though it, but go on.
Councillor.
I think I said what I had to say.
Well, I'd say my little boy, Tom, little cat like, ginger Tom like, God bless him, and I love him to pieces. And we go to Clermont Vets, and we can always get an appointment. An appointment. You can't go to the doctors, but I can with my little boy, the veterinary surgeon in Clermont Road. They're as good as gold though. And I remember some years ago talking to a veterinary surgeon, and he worked with Rank Film International, and he said the problem working with these people, you never get paid. They had to close his practice, and although we all think that these vets make lots and lots of money, we've got to remember that the business will eventually come to its end, sooner or later. And unfortunately, for one reason or another, this particular veterinary practice has come to an end. And we don't know the circumstances why it's come to an end. And perhaps is that enough? And he wants to sell and leave. We've all been through these circumstances. We've all sold houses, and we want to move on. And perhaps it's not so much as the veterinary surgeon practice, it's about the individual that wants to sell it and move on. To be honest with you, I'm quite prepared to support this application.
Yeah, I mean, I feel whatever happens, I've got a feeling it'll be accepted as a change of use, and it wouldn't be out of place in this particular road.
Basically the same, isn't
But
it?
I think we could mention that it, you know, we're disappointed that it's not continuing as a veterinary practice, because it's been there, as
Forever.
I know of, for 50 odd years.
I was going to say, I've known at least 40 years.
Because always used to use it when I first moved down here in the middle 60s. So, yes, it is sad to see, a business going, losing that sort of business.
It's a tragedy, but people retire and they sell the business on. I would have preferred it, Chair, for you if it'd been sold on to another veterinary and carry on, but
Yeah.
you don't know the person's circumstances.
With the information we've got, I think we've got to support it.
But I don't want to do
No.
by my
Yeah.
house.
So but the thing is, supporting it is just saying prior approval is needed, which
Yeah.
means they've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to
they've
then
got to
bring
go
back
for it,
a
yeah.
application,
Absolutely.
a bigger
Yeah.
application, which
They
is
might come out as
then
another
more.
veterinary practice.
I mean, on the list of, it's got all the floor plans for the new dwellings, so obviously they've done
done
all
the work.
that, and it does fit in well.
Well, it is what
Yeah.
person shall support it. We'd love to.
So, Councillor Lord seconding. Any other comments?
It's just an interest in the sense of when you put the house to the site to the north is massive, and then these ones are quite small. So I don't know which one was built first. But I know it's outside the scope of this, but I don't know if it's sort of like an infant. The ones by the road were built beforehand. If you sort of mean when they did stuff. Maybe I don't know. It's not really relevant.
No.
You just notice it though. They're quite substantial,
Yeah.
and these ones are more bungalow style, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
still built into the hill, wouldn't it? They've done that quite well at the back. Well, they all have to round there, don't
Yeah.
they?
Okay, so can I have a show of hands for supporting this application?
Just get clarification, so
Oh.
that's us for
Prior-
saying yes, prior approval.
That's all. Yeah,
Yes.
we need further, don't we? This is
Yeah.
like,
Sorry.
Okay.
further application.
So can I have a show of hands, please? And those against? Abstaining? One. Thank you. LW stroke 26 stroke 0053, 131 North Way. Replacement of existing conservatory with single-storey rear extension. Enlargement and conversion of existing side garage to provide more habitable space. Installation of 2 roof lights and alterations to the fenestration and side elevation. I'd like to lead on this one. I went to okay.
Oh, really?
Councillor Law.
Yeah, it's a bit big.
Yeah, that's why.
It's a bit big. And when you say what they're doing, you see the plans, they're two completely different things. I think that's rather a large extension. And I'm not going to dimensions of it, but look at them, we're talking about 10 metres, I guess.
That was 5.5.
Width-wise, yeah. That's about 4 metres by about 10. So it's quite a large extension. However, what it is, it's back of the property, and it seems, I would say, relatively in keeping. So it's got a big garden to go with it, so it can probably swallow it up. It's a big extension. I propose we support the application. It's in the footprint of the land, it's not intruding on its neighbours and doesn't overlook anything. So I don't know. I mean, it's massive, but it works, you know.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's your proposal. Thank you, Councillor Law. Councillor Bournemouth?
Thank you, Chair. I'm in two minds because of the size.
I know.
And so, yes, it's at the back of the property, so it can't be seen, but it is 5.5 metres. Is it 5.5 metres? I think we worked out in the depth of it.
Yeah.
And our neighbourhood plan mentions that the depth shouldn't be more than 4.
4 or 5 minutes.
Um, And then it goes, if you look, if we can go back to the one, the street view, putting that extension on is going to then be going back beyond the housing
The shed. Yeah.
for both the neighbours, and I just think it is too large, although none of it can be seen from the front.
Yeah, quite right, Councillor.
Mm.
But I don't know whether
Yeah.
it's an objector or whether you just kind of just go,
Any other comments? Councillor Richard
Can you
Hunter?
go back to the block plan? No, the overall location plan, and of course the one we're looking at two up one. That one, yeah, that was quite controversial at the time, and all that one got expanded out. It still is. You can see it from that overall Google Maps picture. It still is. It's still quite. That's still probably very, very large, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the site, it goes way beyond what you call a large bungalow. It's a bit more than that one is, isn't it? As we know, especially with the big platform at the back. But so you could argue, and a swimming pool, isn't it? Well, they're all sort of in line, aren't they? In that sense, the bulk of the. But this one won't be when it gets going, isn't it?
The neighbour the other side sticks out, conservatory sticks out a bit more, doesn't it?
It's a
Not
tough
that
one.
one, yeah, that's it.
But it's going to go right to.
it's going to go right past that though, once
It's
they
going to be right
build.
beyond all that, isn't it? When if we did a whole 5.5 metres.
Okay.
Oh.
Right, we've got a proposal on the table of supporting. Does that find a seconder?
Obviously not, Jim.
So that has fallen. So can we have a proposal to object to this application? Councillor Bournemouth?
I think it's the depth.
I thought
It goes
4
against the
metres,
neighbourhood
so-
plan, that 5.5 metres is just too big, so it's out of keeping, over development, that's the
Yeah.
one.
So are you suggesting that if it was brought in a bit?
If it's 4.5 metres, then I think,
To most Chair, I thought it
Which
was
is
4
still-
metres, so I'm at fault there.
Well, they just said it, I've got it from somewhere here.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
5.5, I thought it was 4
written down,
metres, so
yeah.
I do beg your pardon.
We also found there was a lack of information.
Mm.
This is one I was a bit like, I don't
Yeah.
know, because there's not much information.
no, and usually you get the measurements on the plans as well, and
Yeah.
that's where you've got to hunt for
Yeah.
all the things.
Plus the fact, you know, the conservatory
Doesn't matter.
was a lot smaller than what they're proposing. I mean,
Yeah.
in the wording, look, you know,
It says
like a
replace.
replacement, doesn't it?
Replace existing conservatory, that's not replacing it, that's a...
Okay. So we've got
Can I
overdevelopment.
withdraw my support for this
Yeah.
application, Chair? Thank you.
So we've got development against the neighbourhood plan. Anything else? You okay with those two things? Does that find a seconder, please?
I suppose that's
Yeah.
what the second one.
Good
Well,
Karen.
thanks, Rod.
And can I have a show of hands objecting to this application, please?
This is all just
That's
flummoxed.
unanimous, thank you.
Feel guilty then.
Oh,
Can you mention share the loss of the garage? I mean, I know we say that, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's worth it in the comments. It is lost in the garage,
We
isn't
have
it?
voted on it now, haven't we?
I've never used
I know,
it.
but it's in there, isn't it?
40 years.
What, the garages, no. Garages are just big rooms, aren't they?
Well, they're not
Is it
big
my
enough for a
accent?
car.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. LW stroke 26 stroke 0038, 84 Marine Parade, extension of existing rear dormer and modifications to the roof. Okay,
That's all right.
who'd like to, Councillor Bowman?
Thank you, Chair. When I first read this, I thought, oh, here we go. Usually it's going to be huge, but then when you look at it, it's still very tiny. It's a little bit of a different size to the one they've already got, but it's well below the roof height. There's nice gapping around the edge, and it can't be seen from anywhere from
No.
where it is. So I'm quite happy to support this.
Thank you, Councillor Bowman. Okay, Councillor Buchanan?
Yes, I would second that.
Thank you. Any other comments? Can I have a show of hands supporting the application? That's unanimous, thank you.
It's quite lifted on there.
LW stroke 26 stroke 0123, 60 Belgrave Crescent. Erection of two-storey front and single-storey side extensions, addition of the front porch, amended design to approve LW stroke 25 stroke 0639. That's it. And, well, you see your agenda that we raised no objections on the previous application. Who was first? Councillor Livy Hamlin?
Oh, no, first.
I was just going to say it's squaring it off basically, isn't it? I just think it just tidies it up, so
Yeah.
I was happy with this suggestion, and I've put another comment in. It's not out of place in the area of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not there.
Are you proposing we
Right on that.
support it?
Yes.
Councillor Cannon?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Chair. I spent about 20 minutes trying to find the difference
Yes.
between this one and the previous one, and I finally got there. And it's a little bit forward on the upper floor, sort of forward on the upper floor, but I'd support it as well.
You're seconding.
Seconding.
Thank you. Any other comments? Can I have a show of hands supporting the application? That's unanimous. Thank you.
But just one thought, if I may. This should be V2, not V1, and it's a revision which, if you see at the top there,
I think it's because it's a new application. It is version 1 of that new application.
where else does it actually say that on this drawing?
I think it's because it's it will say somewhere that it's for they usually put the application code on it, but they haven't.
Just an observation, because
Yeah.
that could get well confusing.
Yeah, I did go back and forth for quite a while as well.
It was like, where's Wally?
I thought you were going to say about Swifts. I
So
didn't know if
did
it was.
I.
I didn't know if it was.
So did I.
Actually, now you mention it, we, north, which way down is it?
I wasn't sure, that's why I thought you know. It's here. Wait, is that?
The grid lines are always north to south and east to west.
So that could
I
be,
think North really is North there.
The grid lines are north to south and east to west. You know, it's not true north, but it's not so
so the top of the L there, on the plan, that is, okay, you might get a Swift briefing along there. It'd be worth just raising that as a thought.
Are we happy that I add that to whoever?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Councillor Buchanan.
Yes, Swift vehicle, Swift boxes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we now move on to Tree Works. TW stroke 26 stroke 0014 stroke TPO, Rocking Post, 17 Floral Road. And as you know, we had this at our last meeting.
want to look at the pictures again, just tell me if you want to see a picture, and I will find it.
I've seen trees, seen the trees.
Councillor,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, one of the reasons we rejected is because we suggested they got expert advice, but there's nothing in this new application to say they have got expert advice. That's what I was looking for, because I thought I need to check I could remind myself. And yeah, they did actually sort it. Because actually when you look at the pictures again, the tree is not very well. It's not very healthy. And it obviously is quite close to the brick wall. So also they've opted to do that, but I just wondered what the advice they've been given.
I think last time they were wanting to take them back to the
Oh, yeah,
ground,
no, no,
so
we'll take
this
it back
time
to
they
ground.
actually only
They're
want
pollarding
to
it.
do.
They're only pollarding,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to.
but I think by what they're suggesting now gives the trees a chance.
Yeah, it does.
Because I know we had a sycamore in Bishopstone Village, which really is really old tree, and it didn't look that great, but had it pollarded back, and it's looking great now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I think what they're suggesting now is giving the trees a
It's would have been
chance.
nice for them to actually
Yeah.
say, yes, we did seek the advice.
Yeah, I support Councillor Oliver on this particular application. The more you can do to save the tree, the better.
Yeah.
Costs more money, but it doesn't matter. The tree's been longer than you and me both.
Okay, any other comments?
If we just have a look at the picture with the tree concern, the main,
Which number's that?
Yeah, is that me?
was it next to something else very close, wasn't it? Was it at the top?
Right, then we get a few open, so we've got some gallery on it. But that's the wall.
Oh,
Even
That's the wall, yeah, but it was the one that didn't look that good. I mean, it was quite close, wasn't it? That was the one that
Powerful
split.
trees. Powerful.
But that's quite typical, they do split, don't they?
Yeah.
Well,
As they get older.
it's male and female, isn't it? They're on the road.
Is that the one?
Was this the one where everyone's talking about? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the truth. After 30 years together, you had a Rolex, oh, son of a... That's the truth with the tree, honestly.
It is actually right in that corner, that's what we're talking about. So they want to actually demolish that completely, demolish it,
No, they're going to cut it down.
No.
That was the
but
previous.
completely.
Yeah, they're gonna
Well, that was taken in probably January. This is a February transmission, wasn't it?
No.
So it's probably taken.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation more than once in last things, I never know.
So, we're supporting this application, councillor Law, seconded
Yeah,
by councillor.
Yeah, I think I proposed it, but don't worry.
I'll second it.
Doesn't make me very bad.
Okay, yeah. Can I have a show of hands of supporting this
Yeah, it's
application? That's unanimous, thank you. Move on to page 6. To notify the committee of decisions taken by the planning authority on the planning applications previously considered by this committee, and any information updates on the highway matters, and you're asked to note the report. Is there any comments?
No.
Well, apart from the one looking at the 2 years' worth of stuff which we would never know about.
The only other ones I'd like to highlight for you, Chair, is just obviously the ones where we put in objections and they refused them. It's quite nice to see, and it's nice to see that they mentioned the neighbourhood plan in that as well. The little Chiltern one was the most recent, I think.
No, the one about the cafe again, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
That's it,
Okay. So can I have a show of hands of noting the report, please? That's nice, thank you. And that concludes the meeting at 7:47.